Once every few years, searching for Rinoa gets out of his comfort zone to bring upon a guest for one of his YouTube videos. Welcome back to Rinoa Reviews! With 2 weeks and change behind us, I start reviewing all manner of things, including this with a special guest, a huge fan of this series, and when I decided to script a review for this, I knew she had to be on board. People, a fellow fan of fighting games, edgeyberzerker, welcome.
Hello, everyone. Edgeyberzerker here. We're going to be talking about one of my obsessions I've had since forever.
So we both watched this on the VHS tape.
Yep.
And you on your channel have played everything Toshinden on your channel, including some I haven't seen before, like a chibi one, Toshinden or something like that?
Oh yeah, Toshinden. Yeah, that was their version of Virtua Fighter Kids.
But yeah, everything Toshinden on your channel, I'd say?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. I even have, like, I guess Card Quest is rare now, and I have that. Then there's the remake, which is, like, not really canon Toshinden. It's Toshinden adjacent.
Yeah, I looked at the characters for that, I'm like, wait, what JRPG did they get these designs from? That's what it looks like to me. I'm like,
it's
this is
weird
Toshinden?
It's weird because, like, I'm looking at, like, it's a good fighting game. It's just not a good Toshinden game, I guess. It's more Blaze Blue, which is really weird. That's the best way I could put it. But yeah, I played like all of them. There's even like re-releases of one I never heard about, the perfect version that I was saving and has different music. So yeah.
Cool. I only got a scratched rental of the first game that sadly stopped working for me at a certain point. That was my so I only had like the net and stuff to gleam through, so I'm like, not as... But again, I this was the first Toshinden thing I like owned for sure.
Uh-huh.
The VHS, and I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, I remember hearing about it in Game Fan because they got like reviews of stuff from before they even came out over here. So I was like, oh my god, they made an anime of Toshinden, I must watch this. And then they brought it out, and a fun fact about the DVD, that's the first dual language DVD ever released.
Really?
For anime.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we can thank Toshinden for the fact that we don't have to buy a separate dub and sub versions now.
Wow. Not even introed into the actual thing, and I have information I didn't know about. That's why, yeah. You see why I brought her on.
I have a lot of fun facts for this one, too.
I think with that out of the way, we can begin the review of this 2-part OVA of Battle Arena Toshinden.
Yes. Let's.
Cool scroll text intro explaining in so many words, you know, secret tournament held by secret force in secrecy. This narrative intro kills, though. Like,
yeah.
Love, glory, revenge.
Yeah, I think they were trying to top the Toshinden 1 intro.
So good.
Just, it's so interesting to note that this was made by Masami Obari, like
yes.
The director. I always have to specify the director. Because people often confuse the character designer, Tsukasa Kotoboki, as Obari, but it's like, no, they have the same kind of art style. They're besties, but the different people. But Obari did the directing for this. And what's cool is I have an OVA book, and it shows the storyboards with his artwork on it, so it's really neat to see. And he was doing Voltage Fighter Gaokaiser at the same time, another fighting game. And if you did a side-by-side comparison, a lot of the scenes are like kind of like the same angles and usage.
Oh, I haven't seen Gaokaiser yet. I've seen it to... I know the game's set, out on PSN. I usually wait till stuff goes on sale. Usually they put them at like half off. The
PlayStation version's not good. The PlayStation version's the worst version. I say Neo Geo CD version's the best version of it.
Well, it's the arcade port is what they do for PlayStation 4. The arcade classics.
Oh, they have the arcade classic out?
I think so. I'm not sure. I might have to look again.
Ooh, I'll have to double check
Yeah,
that,
for
because if
$7.99.
that's the case, yeah, I will probably pick that up. The game is hard. You need save states for the boss and the sub-boss, but otherwise. Yeah, it's interesting, though, because it's like, it was made at the same time, so it had kind of the same little things, and we'll get to it when the Eiji and Sophia fight. There's like an angle at Sophia's Assets, let's just say. And they use that same one for a different thing in Gao Kaiser.
We even get a here's the cast of 11 Toshinden warriors movie itself keeping a few surprises. So not just 11.
Yeah.
Some shots taken from even near the end of the second part, but first-time watchers will have no idea.
Yep, exactly.
But looking at it again, I was like, wow, this is like the ending. Like the last minute or two. One shot.
There was a budget. They had to stick to it.
Movie opens as two unnamed vague nations sign some sort of peace treaty. They do, and then explosions!
Whoa.
Mr. President, you have to come with us now. One nation's got trained ventriloquist on their side. So, is the other nation Mimes? Was that their war?
Mimistan versus America Adjacent.
Yeah.
There we go.
One Bishonen dude with a katana ends up doing the whole village, so to speak. And that's your title drop for Volume 1 of Battle Arena Toshinden.
Dun dun dun.
Magic trick for some children in a Chinatown-like setting. The Bishonen dude appears. The man who performs the magic, nice to kids, murderous bastard to everyone but.
Yep. I love that fact about Foe. Like, oh yeah, children, I love helping them out, but you know what? These adults should all die.
Enter Fo-Fi, who recognizes the Bishonen as Sho, who has the power of Copycat, who meets up one of Ho's techniques with his own. Fight just kind of ends right there on that note. As we cut to our protagonist, Uji, who recalls the events of the first Toshin tournament. So yeah, 2 volumes of the OVA take place between, I believe, Game 1 and Game 2, I wager?
Yeah, it's, what is it? It takes, actually between Ura and 2.
Oh, Ura.
Yeah, because that's the Saturn one, which had the Showbot in it.
That explains a lot of this movie then, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I see where they're going.
So you have to, play your games on your PlayStations and Sega Saturns.
So we flash back to Uji attacking Gaia in his giant armor dealie that he only had for the first game. Maybe it was to hide his identity?
Partially that, also partially, the Himitsu Kasu, which is the organization or whatever.
Yep. Yeah,
that got it mixed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They call them the organization in this movie, I know that.
Yeah, they basically have a thing where it's like the armored gods or whatever, like Uranus, like Cupido. Chaos was there, but then he went crazy because he was experimented on. They all had like special armor and stuff and for their like powers, and Gaia's like ditched it because he's like, nah, I'm a face now.
Ah. So it's not just cosmetics changeover.
Yep, exactly. It's him like basically turning over a new leaf, so to say.
Yeah, it's soon here. Gaia wants Uji to join up with him. Uji refuses and attacks. Gaia recognizes, Sho uses that same move. Uji wants answers to where his brother is. Gaia's like, wish I knew too. And their fight gets interrupted by probably my favorite character in this movie, probably yours too. This nutbar Chaos.
Good old Chaos.
He reveals that Gaia is using the tournament to gather up a small army to rebel against this organization. So
yep, that sounds about right.
So Chaos cleaves the armor, but not the man inside. Gaia's blow, on the other hand, it doesn't have that limitation. Down goes Chaos, and then the tournament ends with Gaia telling, try again, kid, in so many words.
Strongest fighter in the world. Try again, kiddo.
So he just got unfinished business and a missing brother. Hold that thought. Here comes the kin to his Ryu in Kaien, and I do mean that. I think, because I remember on the cover of Game Players magazine when I first saw it, they had Kaien on the cover, and he's like, wearing like, looks like a denim outfit, or like that, at least that color with red hair.
Yes, that was his original design. Because originally, He was the denim with the red hair, and he was supposed to be Scottish. But then everyone liked his player 2 color, which is the one you see there. And they decided, okay, that one's canon, and suddenly he's British. Okay.
Oh man, if they kept him Scottish, would it have been the... Which one is it? The remix dub?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh gosh.
And also his jacket is based off of Michael Jackson's Beat It jacket, I believe. Yep.
I remember looking that up one time because I had to figure out the other characters for the third Toshinden, where they like just straight up double the cast.
Yes.
And his rivals dressed like Smooth Criminal.
Yeah, literally Smooth Criminal. He was originally supposed to be a Clockwork Orange. But then they're like, we like Smooth Criminal better.
Also, didn't Fatal Fury do Clockwork Orange?
Yes, with Mr. White,
Mr. White,
the cheapest boss ever. Cheapest. I don't want to get into it.
See, it's one of those Fatal Fury fights, I call it, because the fight starts at one time period and ends at another. Like round 1, round 2.
That is exactly it, and I'm sure some of those shots also remind you of Fatal Fury in some ways, too. Oh, Bari.
Kyan draws first blood, making him the victor. Still, they're still buds, though. Another fight of show using someone else's technique elsewhere, this time catching Mondo off guard. And by fight, I mean one and done.
He jobbed out to the show bot.
Iggy and Kyan laying flowers on Kyan's father's grave, who somehow already knows someone's attacked foe in Mondo. Yeah, this is, like I said, another one of those get shit done, fuck plot and placement. Just get your players on the board and move them.
Yeah, because this anime is obviously made for the people who play the games. So it's like, okay, we don't have to get too much exposition happening. Let's just keep going. We only got 30 minutes for part 1 and 30 minutes for part 2. Go, go, go.
Yeah, it's like that second half of the Super Mario Brothers movie, but condensed under an hour long 2-parter.
Yes, exactly.
Kyan pretty cool wanting to help Eiji, whose big brother is the one who put Kyan's dad in that grave. Just a friendly sword duel, I guess?
It's a weird one because technically what happened was, Kyan was originally supposed to be sacrificed, as a child, because, his dad was a part of, Vermilion's group. And, he was like, well, I'll take his place. And so I guess Sho took the fall so that Kyan wouldn't go and try to get revenge on, them, because he's like, that's bad news, don't get involved. It's kind of like that, in a way. That's kind of like how they retconned, I guess. That Sho actually wasn't the one that really killed him. It was more of a protection for Kyan when he was younger.
Which I don't think comes up in this movie at all, because that's like a whole separate organization.
Yeah.
Which they call that the organization in the games, but I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. What was it? It's like in the games, technically the Himitsu Kasu, aka the Gerard Foundation for Uranus's group, and then it's the organization for Verm's group. But translating and all that, they just kind of like, it's the same thing. It's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, Kyan's gonna help Eiji figure out what's going on. People been attacked. They gotta team up and put a stop to that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, it's Rungo's turn to get taken out of the movie for a bit. He wakes up missing his family, getting into a monitored fight from Lady Uranus and her unnecessary side boob armor. The fuck is she wearing?
I don't know. That was definitely for crap. We got only this many time, and we don't have a shower scene yet, and we can't do that yet. So side boob. Let's do side boob.
She's got Sho under her thumb, and now an also revived Chaos to fight Rungo. It's implied he too can do that thing Sho's been doing. Chaos wants revenge and maybe a new neck after he twirls his own head. Oh my.
Yeah, Chaos again. He was normal because I have a doujinshi, which is actually considered official because it's done by the artist. where Uranus basically seduced Chaos into doing the experiments. Because it's like, oh yeah, he'll be the strongest fighter ever. And instead he just ended up losing his memories like Sophia. But also went insane as well.
He fights with a scythe, so he has to be cool.
Yep, exactly. He's also canonically supposed to be blonde when he has hair. Fun fact.
So yeah, Rungo gets taken down. Uji and Kyan arrive at the cabin where Rungo's already bandaged up and bedridden. At least his wife and son are okay?
I guess?
Kyan thinking, oh, Sophia's gotta be next. Uji, you go where she is. I gotta do some other stuff elsewhere. Rungo, Sungo wants to come too, but of course gets shot down.
You're not a fighter or a castmate. You can stay home, please. Thank you.
Possibly voiced by Cree Summer, maybe?
Maybe?
So yeah, in seconds after that, Uji meets up with Sophia looking after kids at the orphanage sounding not remotely Russian. But
it's Russian adjacent.
Uranus explains to some other dudes, either part of her organization or selling her new weapon that is this regenerative soulless killing machine that does the whole move duplication thing. So she's got two of them in Show and Chaos. She calls it the Man-Machine Project. Scary thing is, they're just prototypes for... She plans a later production model she plans to make even more powerful.
Yeah, so I think what's implied is that they stole the information from Ron. Probably was given to them by Wolf, who stole the original Showbot. And they went from there. Because Chaos is not in That's the other thing to remember.
She also gets news from someone who may or may not be that mad scientist Senno from the Street Fighter animated movie that Uji's contacted Sophia. Uji loses a dream sword fight with his brother, unable to sleep. He talks to Sophia about stuff that's been happening. Sophia's a little envious of Uji still with all this going on. At least, you know who your brother is and all that. Organization wiped out all her memories, but she knows she has a mother and sister, so...
Yes, they are canon. They are around. She just doesn't remember her life with them.
Uranus later takes control of Sophia's brain.
Basically gave her a kill switch.
Speaking of something from lifted possibly from the Street Fighter animated movie, gratuitous nudity.
Shower scene. It's pointless. Enjoy your fan service, everyone.
Definitely the bronze medal of the Chun and Mai's massive honkers from the third Fatal Fury movie.
Yep, gotta love all those beefers.
She could have killed Uji while trying to seduce him if she didn't take like a full 5 seconds to just do her stab attempt.
What I love is the fact that they jump out the window and they both are fully clothed.
Yeah, they're just... This movie moves that fast.
Yeah, they just had a Sailor Moon transformation that we didn't get to see. It's amazing. Because MacGuffin, that's why.
Yeah, they're already outside and dressed in their fight outfits, leaping out of the bedroom's window. So Sophia can work over Uji a bit. Latter of whom won't harm Sophia. She's hurting her friend and a little blood drawn. And with Uji's hug, she's freed of this control somehow.
The power of friendship carries on.
Enter the Battle of Brothers. Sho somehow even knows of Uji's murder-death duel dream.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
I know I tend to cut stuff out of my reviews to make them a little quicker, but this movie moves faster than I can appreciate sometimes.
Right?
You will die by my hand as you dreamed. How the fuck do you know that?
Yeah, how you watching my dreams? That's kind of weird, brother. Mother always loved you best.
This is my murder-death dream.
Stop looking at it, you booger.
Mom says it's my turn to have an existential crisis. Maybe Uranus can mind mess with people's dreams too, or something?
Maybe, but it would make no sense for that. Because, okay, if Sophia had that dream, yes, probably. Because she has a kill switch a la Winter Soldier. But Eiji, he wasn't implanted with anything, so how would she be able to see in a dream unless she's like an ultimate pervo? I have questions, movie.
Maybe Uranus is also in the buff while she has trying to control Sophia?
You know what? That's the one thing I don't like, okay, I know fan service, okay. But I don't understand why. Like, okay, she's in her, like, weird side boob armor. And then when the Sophia thing failed, she's like, I'm going to throw off my armor. It's like, but why? I have questions, Uranus. Questions.
AJ pieces together, this can't be show. Sophia tries to intervene and gets blasted away. It's enough for AJ to no-sell and overdrive all over on show, upsetting Lady Uranus, who is totally in her secret lab naked and mind-controlling Sophia before sending show. So in the span of, like, the few minutes, she goes from there to, like, I guess maybe she just shows up all girl-bossed up with her evil Cupid shtick, murking show and introducing herself. Maybe a hologram? Because she does kind of disappear into nothing, maybe?
Maybe. But the MacGuffin.
Wouldn't explain the arrow, though. Although the bow itself is, like, what is it, one of the 4 Saint Boost treasures or whatever?
Yeah, it's part of this 4, okay, take a shot. It's the 4 sacred weapons of the gods or something like that. They keep saying it in Toshinden for the 4 sacred weapons. And they can't just say, oh yeah, these weapons mean to find. No, they have to say every time 4 sacred weapons.
So she plots on that the show that she murked was an android copy and just Sailor Moon's on out dropping the name of the Man-Machine project.
Yep, you gotta know the plot, guys, because we gotta make this move fast. Go, 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 go!
So she's already moved on to ready Chaos to kill Gaia for turning against the organization. Elsewhere, Kyan goes to the circus to see Lisa Ortiz-voiced Ellis for a touch of lighthearted stuff.
Yep, Ellis, the, I guess you could say the cute one of the group.
Uji does a cool thing over a cliff, and we get our kind of out of place, maybe a little bit theme song. Real happy. Do.
Actually, that's the funny part. It's not really out of place when you find out it was advertised because the singer is Ellis's Japanese voice.
Ah.
And she did like a single called Cheer Up Fly Away, because that's what the song's called. And Ellis is on the cover for it. So it's considered a Toshinden theme.
Huh. That was always kind of a thing for a while, fighting themes. Fighting for endings for characters.
Yeah, not to mention, like, Toshinden has a lot of drama CDs that are not translated, so it has, like, even more story stuff that we don't know about.
But that's OVA 1. Into OVA 2, where Chaos and his organization flunkies are chasing down Gaia, who is now dolled up in his look from the second Toshinden game. Looking like prototype Papa Nier. It's almost scary.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely like
I can't unsee it now.
Papa Nier was definitely probably like inspired in some way.
I can't unsee it. Like if he wore his face mask like over his eye or something like that, a little more.
Basically Papa Nier.
But that's our open for Volume 2. Now AJ arrives to meet up with Kyan and Ellis post-circus performance as a knife thrower. Little Ellis gets the deets on the Man-Machine project, upset she's not getting attacked for her fighting info. Tiny but dangerous with knives at our hero's throats, for doubting her data would be worth much.
Really, she's actually more of the perfect bait to get Gaia out, when you think about it.
That's what they figured out too, and sure enough, they've been tailed. Ellis practicing as 2 clowns that also work in the circus take off. Who's ready to get nuts with more chaos? He knows Ellis is Gaia's daughter and he's come to use her as bait. Chaos boots are effortless. The 2 clowns return to defend her. It's Uji and Kyan who set a trap for Chaos. Doesn't matter much, Chaos even stronger than Sho. Hui states that the copy was only 30% capacity. He blows away the 2 heroes and is about to nab Ellis until Gaia steps in. Gaia actually holding his own, stating, perhaps you can't fight somebody for whom you have no data. Maybe this implies like his first to second form now, from the first to second games.
Yeah, I think he's implying that they don't have info on his new fight style because they only have info on his armored style.
Ellis notices Gaia's wearing something familiar to her, so now she knows and defends her dad from getting poison mist and poison darted by Chaos. So now Chaos gets Gaia to him anyway. Chaos says, The antidote is rare and only known by his organization. Want to save her? Come with us. And with that, Uranus will also be waiting in now with Gaia's attack pattern.
Basically, they wrote out Ellis so you don't have to see her anymore.
Yeah. Gaia vanishes as Ellis is now in a hospital van, and another character from the second game is now here too. Policewoman dressed more like a stripper version of a policewoman maybe. Officer Nasty Tracy.
And not to mention, that's like one of her early designs too that they were going to use in 2, but then they decided, we'll save it for another day. Also voiced by 90s icon, I'm going to say with big question marks, Apollo Smile, who was touted as the live-action anime girl, who was also the voice of Ulala from Space Channel 5.
Wow.
And also did a voice of Karine in Voltage Fighter Gaokaiser.
She just wants answers of what's going down, so... News report on the TV brings her up to speed. Gaia trying to stop this man-machine project. Iggy and Cayenne were hoping to find the villain's hideout. In comes Sophia, all Catwomaned up, explaining, when Uranus took control, I could see her mind too, and now I know where her hideout is.
Because we needed a MacGuffin in order to solve this mystery, because we're on a budget and we gotta move people.
We only got like, what is it, OVA, like, with commercials, it's like, wait, maybe like...
It's a 30-minute.
Just straight 30 minutes? Not even commercials?
Yeah, because OVAs are original animation videos, so it was a budget that they could just release straight on video. That's why a lot of OVAs have better animation than the TV shows.
Ah, okay. So direct-to-video, basically, there. Okay.
Yeah.
Storm the gates! Girls stay to fight the flunkies of the organization, as well as... Mondo, he's okay. Actually, everyone's okay. Rungo, Foe, fancy-ass Duke telling Eiji to get going, and if anyone's gonna boot you, it'll be me, the Sagat to your Ryu.
And fun fact, he never does.
All this is enough of a distraction for Gaia to sneak straight in to kill Uranus to take over as leader. Uranus unveils the final phase on Chaos. Make Chaos even crazier by just removing his thought and just turning him into just a killing machine. I'm like...
Yeah,
not much difference, maybe?
Yeah, that's current Chaos, I'd say. Yeah.
2 towers for Uji and Cayenne to split up and search. Uji finds perhaps more bodies about to be man-machined, and his attack torches the place. Cayenne finds Gaia losing to Chaos, who warns him, he's way more powerful now. Uji's like, damn, I chose the wrong one. Seeing this, looks like he's gonna have to jump!
So he does the whole speed thing.
The star of the show has arrived.
My freaking notification. Yay. Take a shot.
Guy tells him, like, he knows what our moves are before we make them. And I guess this is, like, the precursor to, like, I don't know what it's called for, like, to mod one character's model over another in, like, your Street Fighter 4s or whatever, but Uji uses a Cayenne move.
Dun dun dun.
So hey, use someone else's technique to win, but Uji still uses his own too, kinda? Unless they were new here?
But, you know what? That actually makes no sense, because technically Aging and Cayenne are trained the same. Cayenne only has a few breakdancing kicks. So Eiji should be doing the splits right now. Cayenne should be technically doing the uppercut at a straight up 90-degree angle as opposed to his sideways one.
Diddly rave.
Yeah, diddly rave.
But yeah, they drop Chaos. Sophia with the body count with her, call me queen.
Now, who wants a taste of my whip? And they all run away.
She just disintegrated those guys.
Yeah, destroyed. She guilty geared them before Guilty Gear.
Uji, Cayenne, and Gaia make it to Uranus, who gloats after revealing Uji destroyed a small testing lab instead of the whole shebang. But surprise, the real Shoshinjo shows up. Say that 2 times fast. And sets the whole place to blow.
Because apparently he has explosives while he wanders the earth.
He knows how to do plastic explosives?
I guess. Because the reason.
Uranus flies away calling Show Trader, not a lot of loyalty in this organization. First Gaia, now...
Show technically never worked for them, but whatever. It's fine.
And then that Show vanishes again. He's like, oh, where'd he go? And Gaia does too. I guess only Uji and Kayan are soon walking out as they all ready to fight each other again in the next Toshin.
So make sure to purchase your copy of Toshinden 2.
Oh, and somehow in all this they find the antidote for Ellis too. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
wait,
because...
I forgot about that. I'm like, wait, I'm forgetting something. Oh, Ellis is okay. They must have gotten the thing. Somewhere.
Somewhere, because it's like, but we only know the antidote and we blew the whole place up, but Alice is fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah. And the movie closes up on Uju about to fight Vermilion?
Yes, it was a teaser. They were thinking of doing another one, and I never got my other Toshinden anime, and I'm kind of bitter about that ever since. A small portion of my favorite character.
But that's Battle Arena Toshinden. Now I do a segments here where I go for like a couple of things here to talk about best character.
Mm-hmm.
If it weren't for Chaos, I would give it to Eiji, I think. But Chaos is just hilariously evil, equally menacing, a presence for sure.
It's one of the rare cases where, because in fighting games I tend to snub the main characters.
Yeah.
But it's one of the rare cases where both Eiji and Kayan are very likable. And Chaos, because he's delightfully evil. Just the perfect characterization for him, honestly.
Not a lot of time to work with. Once Chaos shows up, I'm always like wondering, where's Chaos?
Just a big old show stealer.
Worst character? Sometimes it's just for... not really worst overall, but just like worst in like where he could be like limited, and I gotta go with that in this case for Duke, I guess.
Yeah, he was like a nobody in this. I would have to say just even Duke, Rungo, Foe, and Mondo, because they just kind of got jobbed out at the start. And then just were like, oh, hey, we're here for the punch God in the face segment.
He just kind of has the least to do other than remind us of his rivalry with Eiji. That's about it.
Yeah, he just kind of like, they're like, oh, I'm going to beat you, and that's it.
It's kind of hard to just dump on him because he gets about as much screen time as most of those other characters that you mentioned.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, they're more of like the characters, because they're just like, they're there. We showed you clap, we got the thing in here, Maybe
Tracy feels like most thrown in character.
She was definitely thrown in, yeah.
She's the only cop there who knows this whole deal going on, despite like a public newsreel or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Which also, that's like, why would you want to make this public? Because they didn't have a lot of time, of course you can't really get a lot of characterization in it either. So they kind of like suffered. They almost had a chance of making Sophia even one of the main characters. Even Ellis, but Ellis got taken out by the poison early. And then Sophia's just like, well, I'm just here to tell you about the MacGuffin, and let's go, and I'll just fight these guys while you guys do your hero thing.
So that's best and worst characters, and we have like our best and worst moments in the movie, like power on, power off, I dub them. I didn't got much for power on. I think the dubbing isn't as bad as I remembered it was. Again, this moves so fast, I didn't just want to lump Chaos into this category as well.
I'm gonna say that the dubbing in this is actually decent considering the standards in the 90s. Because it was still usually like, oh, let's get Jim from accounting to do this voice. But this was also around when you're starting to see like voice actors be like recognized ones. Yeah. So this is when we're starting to get to that level where it's like, okay, dubbing's actually not that bad. It's still like, feel like, oh, okay, that's dicey. But otherwise, it's like, yeah, dubbing's decent.
Yeah, it's more of a seesaw kind of thing. Like we're starting to really like pick up in one area more than just have it just be like kind of thrown together.
Yeah.
Last minute with some dubs.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'd say like the turning point on dubs was Cowboy Bebop for sure. And from there, it's like, this was still in that awkward phase where there's like decent voices, but at the same time, it's like some of them like are still like not pros. I guess that's a good way to put it. But turn off moment. Honest truth, I really like this OVA, even though I know there could have been way more potential to do more with it. I'd just say maybe like the pointless shower scene. You had precious minutes and you wasted on showing Sophia's boobs. It's like, eh.
My power off moment is mostly the, are you down with OPF, other people's finishers? I don't know enough about the games to know if anything else Uji did where his moves are not. It's not even a different move. It's just differently named it with a red or instead of blue. That's your big chaos deal. That's the... For me,
I think that was like a nod to his like they had like secret moves, I guess, in the game, and it's just like a kind of an overpowered move that you only learn about after you clear the game on hard mode in the first game. But yeah, that's kind of silly. Also, Uranus does like not a lot at all.
Yeah, she blows up shell like once.
It shows kind of like a freaking tuxedo mask. I have showed up and I saved the day, but you did nothing. Leaves.
Except they don't even see him leave. He's just like not there. But you didn't do any... Where the fuck did he go?
He just did basically smoke bomb as in blow up the place.
So yeah, another fun movie I enjoyed, done in by a little bit by quick pacing, but having to review it exposes some of the faults. Still enjoyable on its own merit, though. Like, if you got an hour to kill, for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's really fast-paced, too, all things considered. Even with, like, the short runtime, it's still, like, fast-paced in the sense that you see some stuff that's, like, you know, an hour long, say, and they just make it drag. This one, no. They're just like, okay, bing, bang, boom. This is all you need to know. Get out of here. No, let's not overstay our welcome.
Yeah, another get cool shit in and bring it home.
Yeah.
Okay, music, nothing really, like, super licensed, I guess, but, again, it could just be an OVA, except for the Ellis song you mentioned.
Yeah, I think it's just literally the Ellis song. It's nothing... I'd say it's more like stock standard Obari music, I guess.
But that will do for my review of Battle Arena Toshinden. I want to thank edgeyberzerker here for joining me with her wealth of knowledge for the Toshinden series. I
know way too much about a game that's been long dead.
And not just Toshinden as well, but you do all sorts of, all manner of fighting games on your YouTube channel.
Yes, the channel's basically Edgy Plays, or just search Edgy Berserker, basically where I cover fighting games, character by character, by character. Even if I don't know how to play them, I'm going to still cover that character.
You have a YouTube and you also stream as well on Twitch.
Yes, exact same on Twitch, Edgy Berserker. That's where I more play like JRPGs, but I also have fighting games. Sometimes on Fridays I like to do what's known as Garbage Day, where we play the bad games. And it's just a ton of fun for hangout. It's just really chill, just like talk about things we enjoy.
I mentioned the Street Fighter animated movie. They're going to try that formula again for my next review, the first of 3 Tekken movies I found. So, tomorrow is Tekken the Motion Picture. Until then, take care and diddly reeve. Eiji, your brother killed my da. I know you, Fo-Fi, magician, killer.
I never give up.